What is going on, everyone? Today's video we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So, as you all know, I love to play Shang. I think he's my favorite Mortal Kombat character ever. I think he's pretty strong in this game, and this video is to show you guys why. So what we're going to be doing in today's video is we're going to be going through every single character and showing you the strengths, weaknesses, and what you get and what you don't, and what you get and what you lose when you morph into that character. So just for reference throughout the video, I'll have you know that I'll be playing 2 cameos only. That will be Sub-Zero and Kung Lao, who I believe are Shang's best cameos. If I do a Fatal Blow combo, I won't be mashing the buttons at all. It'll just be the flat damage that you get. And of course, there's going to be some really crazy combos in here. I believe that we're going to be seeing over 60%, maybe even up to 70% with some characters. I'm not exactly sure. So as you can see behind me in the background here, I have done a tier list. Basically, it just means strong is like who Shang really works morphing into. So we've got Geras, Kenshi, Katana, Lu, Natara, Li Mei, Rain, Sindel, and Omni-Man. So basically, if you're playing against any one of these characters, you're gonna want to morph into them at some point and use this guide on how to absolutely destroy your opponents, because I found some absolutely filthy shit. In OK, you've got Astra, Johnny, Kung Lao, Melina, Shao, Smoke, Scorpion, Reptile, and Raiden. These are characters that you can morph into. You don't really get too much out of it, but there's still something there to gain from it. And bad is just, the combos are horrible, you don't get anything from it. The cameos that you use to morph into these characters are just not that great. I'm pretty comfortable with where I sit at in regards of optimal combos. Of course, I'm not gonna know every single combo to squeeze out that 1 extra %. So if you're gonna type some shit in the comments being like, oh, you did a 46% combo when you could have done 47, you suck, unsub, I don't care. But anyways, we'll get started straight into it. I'm gonna start off with the bad, okay, and then get into the strong afterwards, because the strong tier, there is some shit to see, and I'm sure that all you guys will love it. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and we are so close to hitting that 2,000 mark now. With all that being said, I hope you all enjoy the video, so let's get straight into the Shang Tsung Morph combo tier list. Fuck, whatever. Starting off, we have Havoc. Havoc was in our bad tier, and I just want to show you guys why. While Havoc does work well with Sub-Zero, synergizes really well with him, I don't think it's just worth morphing into him, because Shang is a better character than Havoc in my eyes. Shang beats Havoc in my eyes just as a standalone character. And the ways that you want to morph into Havoc, you just don't get any reward from him. The damage that you get from a morph combo, you get more with Shang without spending the bar, meterless. So I'll show you guys the combo now that I have found for Havoc, and I'll just, yeah, it's just not that great. See, from that you get 37%. You get a lot of distance on screen, like, you know, that was from mid-screen to the corner, so you get a lot of corner carry in one combo. But that was actually less than a Shang optimal. Like, you get so much more just from doing this, right? Like, you get an extra 1% and you're at full screen where Shang wants to be, and that's why I think that this just isn't great. Sure, you can get, like, you know, really swaggy Fatal Blow combos. If you just want to, like, pop off this on mid-screen, you can just do something like that, like something nice and easy, but it's really not that great. Again, I think Shang does more by himself. Yeah, I just don't think Havoc is the one. Yeah, Shang does more by himself without having to spend the bar, so I just think it's bad all around. So with Shang and Baraka, this is a pretty interesting one, because before he got patched, I thought this was an amazing swap. Like, yes, you could just morph into Baraka and you could hit them for easy 50-60% combos. It was absolutely nuts. But since Baraka got nerfed, you don't really get that anymore. And he's very meter intensive if you want to do some big damage. Alright, so that's a meterless one there. You get 39% from that. Meterless in the sense that you don't spend meter with Baraka. So 39% for 1 bar, that's still pretty good. You're at plus 21. Again, it's another like combo with very good corner carries, so that's pretty good in itself. And there's one, 43% for spending the second bar with Baraka. Again, plus 21, good corner carry, so that's, you know, pretty good all in all. So the reason why I don't think this is a great idea to morph into Baraka is because he doesn't really synergize well with Sub-Zero cameo. And he also doesn't synergize well with Lao cameo as well. So the best way that I've found to play this team is to morph into him at the end of a combo after a hard knockdown, and then just go for a 50-50 mix up and just try to mix them up like that. Morphing from here. Yeah, just like that. See, that's decent right there. You know, if they fail to block the low, then they get launched. And that's pretty good damage right there. I mean, that was like over 70% sequence, so that's really good in of itself, and that was only 1 bar as well. Only bar spent on the morph. If you hit them with the knockdown, go with the overhead instead, that's when you can start having some fun. See, that's another 32% meterless. That's really, really good as well. But I think that's the best way to play Baraka. Just to morph into him after a hard knockdown, and just try and go for a mix-up. Just try to rattle them, really. Baraka doesn't work well with like Kung Lao or Sub-Zero in my eyes, so I think that's the best way to play it. The reason why I don't think that Sub-Zero is that great of a character to morph into is because, one, again, Shang just beats him in general in my eyes, and the morph combos really aren't worth the reward that you get for going along with it. So with the Sub-Zero cameo, you get something simple like that, you know, 40%, again, good corner carry. That was middle of the screen to full screen. We've all known since the beta, since the stress test even, that Sub-Zero's had really good corner carry. But at this point, what do? You set up an ice clone and you keep playing? Like, it just doesn't seem that great in my eyes, especially with the Sub-Zero cameo. Like, double Sub-Zero just doesn't work in my brain. I could be wrong, it could be fantastic, but it just doesn't work out. See, that's the best that you can do. 27%, 1 bar, and you just get a slide knockdown, that's it. You can't launch them because, you know, Sub-Zero's launcher is too slow. Let me try and not screw that up. Yep, that just completely whiffs. Even with back 2. Like, that's just way too slow. You're not gonna hit them with that in the air. It isn't worth it. 27% for 1 bar? Nah, mate, that's cheeks. I'm sorry, that's cheeks. Although, I'm not gonna lie, if you do want to play Sub-Zero and have that beta damage, then this is your way of doing it. There we go, 39% for 1 bar. Buff Sub-Zero, guys, buff Sub-Zero. So Reiko, just morphing into him isn't that great. Like, he's just... You don't do anything better. Shang has better zoning than him. You know, Shang has better damage than him. And the combos that you get from morphing into Reiko, you know, mid-combo, is just not that great. But there is one setup that I have found that is pretty worthwhile if you are playing against a Reiko player that just loves to, like, wake up buttons, wake up armor. So I have Reiko set to do wake up armor. So after the knockdown, he will just get up and he will just try to do his tactical takedown. Yeah, that's it there. That's what I found. That's all I found. That's the only worthwhile thing that you get from playing Reiko, is that you get probably the worst combo in the game, and you just get to break their armor if they like to wake up buttons. If they wake up with anything, you will destroy them straight away. But that is a very specific situation. That is a very hard read. Unless you're making that read, it's not worth it. I wouldn't bother morphing into this character if I was playing against him. Shang is better, Shang is cooler, and Shang isn't a fucking glazer. I don't think I've really talked about Tanya at all, really, on the channel. But I just think that she's one of the most boring characters to both play as and play against. Her design's really sick. I really like her in the story. She's great all around, but her gameplay is just dog shit. So I'm not sure if it's just because I haven't put enough effort into finding something with this character. I just haven't, you know, I just haven't found anything. And also, like, I haven't played her that much before, so I don't really know that much. So the interesting thing about this is that you can get like a full buff on. But that's it. You get 40 damage on the spot, bang on, and that's about it. Like, you keep the buff for a little bit afterwards. I'm not sure if there's something that you can do with the teleport there to make it more optimal or somehow use less meter, but that's about it. That's all I've found. It's pretty unfortunate. I was looking forward to finding some really dirty stuff with Tanya, but that just never came around, and I think I just gave up because I just find the character so boring to play. Alright, let's move on to the OK tier where we can start finding some really dirty stuff. Alright, so Mileena. She works well with Lao Cameo, and in this instance, if you want to play Sub-Zero against her to prevent her from using Lao Cameo a lot, that's also really good. When you morph into her, you just want to hit them as hard as you can because Mileena isn't really that great of a character in this game, but boy does she hit like a truck. So I'll show you guys some combos now, and we'll start off with Kung Lao first. Alright, so that's a nice easy 41% there. That was for one bar, one cameo bar. Really good damage, really good knockdown, and you are left with a lot of time on your morph. And you get to have Kung Lao cameo as well, which is far and wide her best cameo. Now, Sub-Zero is where the fun really starts to happen in terms of damage. There you go. That's almost 48% there for spending 2 bars. That is really, really good in my eyes. So that's why I think if you want to play Sub-Zero cameo with Shang against Mileena, that's pretty good because you can just cash out on a lot of damage every time you get a touch. That's 54% if you spend 2 bars in Fatal Blow with Sub-Zero and Shang. That is, that's really, really good in my eyes. That's definitely like a good, like, if you don't have Breaker and you have, you know, less than 50% health, see you later, you're done, goodbye. And the beauty is, with Lao, you actually get more damage in the Fatal Blow combo for a lot less. So yeah, that's why I think that Mileena's pretty good, because you get to cash out a lot of damage, and you synergize well if you match up Kung Lao cameo or Sub-Zero cameo in my eyes. It just works out in my brain, so I just figured I'd share that with you guys, and I hope that you all think the same as I do. Shao. Now this one's an interesting one, because while he does synergize super well with Kung Lao, there is some absolutely ridiculous damage that you can get with Sub-Zero. But I'll show you guys Lao first because this is the true synergy that you're gonna want if you're playing against Shao. Alright, so that's a nice, easy, simple B&B that leaves you plus 17 right in front of their face with Shao's best cameo, and that wasn't spending any meter as well. I think the beauty of, you know, playing this team is that even if you morph into Shao and you do have the axe, you can get this combo. Like, he just gets something simple like that. What was that? 1 bar, 40%? That's really, really good in my eyes. Off of what? A 20 frame overhead. That's really, really good. So I think that's all that you can really do with Shao. And you've got the Kung Lao cameo. I personally think that Sub-Zero cameo works the best, and I want to show you guys why. So Sub-Zero cameo is where the damage really starts to set in. There's 2 ways I've found of obtaining damage. One that leaves you with the axe, and one that leaves you without the axe. Shout outs to the guys in the Australian Discord, specifically Tomo Stack, that really helped me out with this first one that I'm about to show you guys, because I didn't know how to do it and he talked me through it. And yeah, so I appreciate you, mate. Thank you. So I'll show you guys the first one where you have the axe down on the ground. So that's the first combo there. 45%, meterless, leaves you right in front of their face, plus 17. You're axeless at the beginning. So you can go for a really fast overhead, you can go for a really fast low. Basically the world's your oyster at that point. I'm sure you could two-touch them. I'm not that great of a Shao player, so I don't really know what to do there. But that is something for the Shao players to go and enjoy. But this one is the one that I first came up with, that that I first found and that I thought was good with Shao, because I don't know how to play him without the axe. I haven't really played this character that much. But this is a nice, good 50% combo for 2 bars that I found with Shang. Nice and easy. Look at that, 50% in your face. The only thing that you'll lose out on with this variation is that you just don't have Lao, so you don't have access to the 50-50s that you would have with Kung Lao. So I'll show you guys the easy B and B combo that I know how to do with Kung Lao. I truly think that Kung Lao cameo is the way if you want to morph into smoke. $45% for 2 bars. That is absolutely insane. That's nice and easy to do as well. That's a very easy combo. And if you want to spend the full stick of butter, bam, 50%. That is actually nuts. That is actually nuts. If you want to spend all your meter, you get 50% combos. Another decent thing I found is that if you're willing to cut down on the damage and spend an extra bar of meter, you can easily just go invisible, and then you can start invisible mixing people. Yeah, I don't really know the combo what to do, but you guys get the idea. If you want to cut the combo short to go invisible, then you can definitely do that, and you can definitely get more damage out of it. So that's why I think that Shang and Lao is good against Smoke, because you can just do some absolutely insane stuff. Smoke is a really good character, so you're going to want to morph into him, and if you've got the execution down right to do all the cancels, there is no excuse not to do it. Yeah, if you really want, you can just spend Fatal Blow as well, and you do good damage for it. Yeah, 52% for 1 bar and Fatal Blow, that's really good. So Scorpion, I know a lot of people will say that like Striker is his best cameo, Kano's a really good cameo for him as well, but I genuinely think that Kung Lao complements him really well, makes him safe on a lot of stuff, and gives him the tiniest little bit of mix, makes his 4-3 a bit safer, and is a good launcher for him as well if you don't want to spend spear straight away. So for 2 bars, getting 41%, that's pretty good with Scorpion in my eyes. It's pretty hard to reach that kind of damage with him standalone anyway. So yeah, well, like, all the stuff that I've rattled off before, like while you're playing as Scorpion, is really good because you get the 4-3 into the low hat, you get the 2-1 like meterless launcher. That's really good in my eyes. Like that was all meterless as well, just spending the cameo for 40%, nice and easy. The easier way to access that damage, specifically that combo right there, is doing it with Sub-Zero, but I don't think that Sub-Zero cameo really helps out Scorpion in any way. It's just more of like a, oh look at this, I can do this flashy combo sort of thing, which is most of the Sub-Zero stuff, but later on down the line we'll get into why that is good for certain characters. See, I just think that's really solid for this team. Like, you know, Scorpion isn't the greatest character, but I think that Kung Lao really just helps him out a lot, and also getting the damage buff with the Shang Morph, I think that really helps him out as well. So, like I said at the start of the video, you're just playing your opponent's character but better, and that's what I think that Shang does for Scorpion with the Lao cameo. This is the only time that you guys will ever see me play Raiden on this channel. I hate this character. I don't think morphing into him is that great. I think that Raiden just beats Shang as a character in general. Morphing into him isn't that great. I think that if you want to morph into Raiden, you're just playing Raiden. And that's why I think it's not bad. I don't think it's good. You're just playing Raiden. Like, you're playing one of the best characters in the game. But I do have a morph combo for you guys, so I'll just show you that before I move on to the next character, because I don't want to have this character anymore on my screen while I'm doing a Shang Tsung video. This character can fuck off. There you go. There you go, that's it done. Fuck you. I hate this character. I'm just gonna move straight on to the next character. I just want to get this dickhead off my screen. Alright, so Reptile, one of my OG mains in this game. You know, I've played both these characters since day one. Obviously, you guys haven't seen Reptile that much on this channel. It's because I've sort of dropped him. You know, I just hope that he gets buffed a little bit in the future, because where he stands now is a bit ugly, and it's just not looking good for his future, unfortunately. But in saying that, he does have some really cool morph combos. He does a lot of damage by himself as a character, so morphing into him only makes him a bit better. Cyrax and Scorpion are, you know, Reptile's best cameos. Sub-Zero works okay, and Kung Lao works okay. So I think that's why he's just in the okay tier, because he is just okay. He's not strong, he's not weak, he's just okay. So let me show you guys some morph combos, and then we'll just move it on. Okay, 47% for 2 bars, that's really, really good. You can also do it and go invisible at the same time as well. And that's 420, that's for 1 bar of meter, so that's no meter spent as Reptile. You guys can also go invisible just before that, but that is basically Reptile. Yep, if you want to spend all of your meter and Fatal Blow, this is the damage that you get. Nice easy 54%. So that's not bad at all if you want to do that for like a game-winning kill. For the sake of keeping this video short, with Kung Lao cameo, you don't get as big combos as you do with Sub-Zero, and you don't get to go invisible as well. So overall, I think the Kung Lao cameo might be a bit worse in this situation, especially if you want to use invisibility, which is probably the best thing that Reptile has. I just haven't played around with it. But yeah, that's pretty much Reptile in a nutshell, so I hope you guys enjoyed. This is the giant combos that he can do. So as we all know right now, the meta of the game currently is Johnny Cage with Kung Lao cameo. That's pretty much undeniable at this point. You see it everywhere in Combat League. If you tune into a Twitch stream, you're probably going to see it somewhere there. So the beauty of this is that, like, you get to morph into Johnny Cage. Yes, you don't get to do that much damage in the morph combo itself, but you get to end up as Johnny Cage with Johnny Cage's best cameo. So it's just one simple combo, it's not that much damage, and you just get to play as Johnny Cage with a bit of a damage boost. So that's the combo right there. That's 32%, but like I said, you get to play as Johnny Cage afterwards. And if you have Fatal Blow, like, I'm pretty sure that this is a kill right here. It'd be at least close to a kill. Like, I know this does a shit ton of damage and it doesn't need to. Yeah, look, almost 2 touch. Just with, if you have Fatal Blow. Like, that is absolutely nuts. So that's just the beauty of this team here, is that, like, yes, the combo is nice and simple. It's not too flashy, it's not too hard. You don't have to spend too much meter. the payoff is that you get to play one of the best characters in the game with the best cameo in the game, which have really great synergy together. That's just the short and sweet of it. Like it is what it is. That's why it's not strong. That's not why it's not bad. It's just super solid. So I think that Sub-Zero cameo is actually really good against Lao, especially when you're playing Shang. Because Kung Lao's Buzzsaw, his back forward 1, if that trades with your projectiles as Shang, then he gets to get in for free. So having Sub-Zero cameo just against Kung Lao in general is pretty good in my opinion. But he also does a shit ton of meterless damage, and that's where like this Sub-Zero cameo comes into play here. Yeah, easy 45%, just a simple B&B with Kung Lao. That's 1 bar of meter that is really, really good in my eyes. And if you want to get fancy, you can even just like do this afterwards as well. Like you can just 18 frame overhead into freeze. You can just do stupid shit like that. So I'm pretty sure if you want better synergy with your cameo, Kung Lao cameo is the way to go. I think Lao Lao is actually a really good, solid team. The Morph combo isn't that great. It's not as flashy. It does a lot less damage, but you just get to have better synergy with your cameo afterwards, and that's something that you really want in this game. We're at 38% for 1 bar in the Morph. That's still really good, but then yeah, you've got your Lao low hat afterwards. Like you can just do some shit like that, you know? It's like, it's really, really good. So that's the Kung Lao cameo with Shang against Lao himself. Like you just do a shit ton of damage because Lao just shits out damage in this game for whatever reason. But yeah, Kung Lao, good solid character to morph into. I know every time that I play against a Lao with Shang, I tried to get a morph off. Especially because if you just get a random morph and you just hit him with like a sneaky claw too, it's just a good feeling. This is like, yeah, this is a taste of your own medicine at the end of the day. It's just a bit cheeky, and that's what I really like. Alright, so Asha is another really interesting one. She works well with the Kung Lao cameo, like really, really well. She has some really good synergy with that. But the combo isn't that great, and you spend a lot of resources just trying to get a bit of damage. The best thing that I found so far is that you get to set up the Dark Stance for free, pretty much, which is really good. You can also probably set up the Lao hat. So yeah, free Dark Stance is really good, especially right in their face. You want to build up those stacks and try and get that extra damage. But apart from that, that's about it, really. I just don't see much other use apart from that. Like, that's it. That's it, nice and simple, and you got Dark Stance in their face. That is pretty much it. But the Sub-Zero cameo, on the other hand. So this bad boy actually allows you to go into Dark Stance mid-combo and get all of your stacks in one hit. And get some really good damage as well. The only bad thing about it is that it's very meter intensive. You always have to have 2 bars of meter to pull this off. There you go. I believe that's only 2 stacks, but that's still really good. That easy 50%. If they choose to wake up armor, they are dead. That is like almost a 2-touch scenario right there. If they panic and they do wake up armor. So that's why I think that Astra is okay. Like, she is very meter intensive. You do get the Dark Stance buffs. Unfortunately, it's pretty hard to swap back into Light Stance to actually take use of those buffs if your opponent is on the ball and smart. But she still does really great damage in light mode, even if you don't want to go into the Dark Stance. It's a nice, simple, like, B&B. Like, look at that, 46% for 2 bars. Like, that is really, really good on its own. So, that is something that you're definitely going to want to do. I forgot to mention earlier, her Fatal Blow damage just does not scale for whatever reason. And you can just get massive damage from it. So, let's just see how much damage this does. That is one of the highest damage fatal blow morph combos that you can get without spending meter in this game. Like 55%, yeah, you don't want to get touched by this character. Alright, with Ashra done, I believe that is all the OK tier done. And now this is where we can start to move off and see some really, really interesting stuff. It's about to get insane. Alright, so let's start this off with the first DLC character of the game, Omni-Man. So as we all know that Omni-Man's best cameo is probably Kung Lao. He's only been out for a few weeks, so it's really hard to decide. But as of right now, Kung Lao is looking like his best cameo, and the morph combos that you get from this, oh boy. It's absolutely insane, and the amount of damage that he can put out is just nuts, and it's all meterless as well. Prepare to have your minds blown. %, 1 bar just to morph, and that's it. And you just get to do combos like that over and over and over again. So the reason why I think that he's just in this tier is it's just because of damage alone, man. Like, every single combo, it's all meterless, except for one. I just find that combo really hard to do. But apart from that one combo, it's all meterless, and he just does so much damage. Damn, another 49%, nice and easy, just like that, off a stand 1. He's optimal right there, 51%. %, off of a 17 frame gapless safe mid launcher. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely stupid. You can do that combo meterless as well. It is just extremely tight. I can't get it 100% all the time, so I just wanted to be honest with you guys and just show you the easiest way to do it. But to me, like, that is nuts, man. And you're also left, like, playing his best cameo as well, so you can do, like, hard to blockables like this. That get you 40% damage. There you go, another gapless 14 frame low starter, 41%. That is why that he's at the top of this tier list, in my opinion. And that is only just the beginning of this top row as well. Like, it's gonna get more insane from here. But before we skip off of Omni-Man, I'll just show you the Fatal Blow combo from the Morph as well, so you can hit this anytime. This is from a Morph combo as well, which is absolutely nuts. 1 bar of meter. Easy 55%. The only thing that is hard about this is that hitting that stand 4 after the spin, it can be a bit difficult. You have to do it like super late, otherwise for some reason it kicks them up in the air. But once you get that timing down, it's honestly not that bad. You just do some insane shit with Omni-Man and you just get to be a true Viltrumite. Now, moving on to Geras. Geras has some of the best synergy with Lao cameo. I think second only to maybe Liu Kang, in all honesty. Like, the synergy here is absolutely nuts. So when you get to morph into Geras, you're basically just the best Geras player that has ever existed. And you also get 14% meterless command grabs as well. Like, that is really, really good. %, 2 bars of meter, and all your cameo barb. 50% from 1 touch? Man, that is absolutely nuts. But at the end of it, you get to play Geras, who is a super solid character, and with his best cameo, Kung Lao. So you just get to play Geras, but better. Like, it's so stupidly insane how good this is. Another easy 57%, 1 bar, 1 cameo. You can just morph into them after doing back 2-2-3, and then you can just morph into Geras. Because then you have a lot more left on your morph timer, and you have a lot more Kung Lao resources as well. So you don't need to do all one combo. You can just transform into a meterless, and then you just get to have a party. But yeah, this is a fantastic character to morph into. If you're playing Shang and you're playing against the Geras, you are going to want to play Kung Lao cameo because it is just off its rocker. So, funny story about Rain. I was going to put him in bad tier because I've been planning this video for a few weeks now, right? I was going to put him in bad tier because I was like, oh, it's fucking useless, you know, it's just Rain. You get 4-3-2, then you get to jump cancel 2-4-3 into 4-2 Geyser. That's it, that's all you can do. But what I didn't realize is that you can actually freeze them mid-air in a combo, and then you can really start to have fun, especially with the Sub-Zero cameo. So yes, while that doesn't work on a true wake-up like that, if they block low, if they block high, they have to block it perfectly, otherwise that is a guaranteed mix. It also armor breaks. Like, I'm sure that you've all seen this Rain setup before. We've all seen it happen. It's very strong. It's very hard to block. Like, it feels like a true hard to blockable. So I've set the Rain to wake up armor, because I think that's the easiest way for me to show you guys how this actually works. Damn, look at that. That is over 70% set play for your life there. One touch into 70%. Like, it's not guaranteed damage at all. You can screw it up. They can, by some miracle, block it. But the fact that it's there is super, super good, especially if you're playing Shang. Because I think that Shang, by himself, already beats Rain. He's a better zoner. It's really hard for Rain to actually get in on Shang. Shang does more damage. So in my eyes, this might actually be a 7-3 matchup. I haven't tested this in a real match yet. There aren't that many Rain players in Australia that I can test this against, unfortunately. But the fact that this exists is really, really big, and I'm so over the moon that I found it, because I really thought that Rain was going to be in bad tier up until like a few hours ago. But once this clicked in my mind and I was like, this might actually work, and then it did, oh boy, I got excited. But yeah, that's Rain. It's just one route. You know, you don't even need the Kung Lao cameo. Like, Sub-Zero does this perfectly. And while we're at it, why don't we just show what happens if you put Fatal Blow at the end, because everyone likes big damage, so let's see what we can get. I'm just going to match with this one because I think, fucking why not, this is just going to be funny. This is just going to be ridiculous damage to see. This is almost a touch of death. Okay, yeah, but that's Shang versus Rain at the end of the day. That is this matchup. I think this matchup just got so much better in my eyes. Every time I play against a Rain in tournament now, I'm sorry, but I am doing this to you. You are fucked. So before we get into any morph combos, I just want to say here's another character that you can end in back 2-2-3, and then just morph into them after the hard knockdown, because then you can start to go for like a forward 4 mind game. You can go for a grab mind game, and like, yes, you get throw combos because you're using Lao. Nice easy 240 damage from a throw, by the way. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure you can get more. Yeah, you can. Yeah, 264. You can get a 264 throw if you want. If you don't want the Oki, if you just want to cash on the damage. So that's a really good way to morph into Liu Kang. That's why I think he's up here in that like higher tier of morphing into, because You can morph into him any which way, and you would just be Liu Kang, but so much better. But right now, we're getting to the morph combos, because this damage is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, so that's 39% for 1 bar of meter, and you get to morph into Liu Kang as well. But that's just the beauty of it. Like, I think that Liu Kang and Kung Lao have the best synergy in the game. They complement each other so well. Like, Kung Lao just perfects and just rounds out Liu Kang to be such a good character. So when you morph into Liu Kang, you're just playing them, but you just do so much more damage. Like, if you just even get like a simple forward 4-3, you shit damage on them so hard, and it's really good. Easy, 43% for 1 bar. That was almost 44. Meterless, 41% if you can get it back 2-3. You know, with the Lao cameo, you get also 41% with no bar. 44% if you want to spend 1 cameo bar, 1 enhanced meter. Like, to me, it just genuinely feels like you were playing a fire god when you were playing this team and you like morph into Liu Kang. Like, it's nuts. It blows my mind. I think this is some of the best synergy in the game, and that's why it's up there so high on my list, because just the synergy is through the roof, the damage is through the roof. I don't see a single downside to this at all. And also, let's not gloss over the fact that you can get almost 30% throw combos. Like 26% throw, because you can also just auto shimmy and do this. Imagine hitting someone with an auto shimmy and you get 39%. It's like, what do you want to eat, 39% or 26%? It's just undeniable to me that this is such a good, like, such a good team to steal and just to play as, because it is so strong. Natara doesn't give you that much. She is a worse character. I do believe that Shang beats Natara on his own. But if you really just want to swag on someone and you really just want to style, then you can just do these combos. There is no downside of doing this, and you get an easy free morph back into Shang as well, so you don't have to worry about getting punished. %, 3 bars a meter, like, that is ridiculous. %, for 2 bars. It's very meter intensive, unfortunately, but if you really want to get that damage out, especially against like a 950 or 900, sorry, health character, this is the way to do it. You can easily 2-touch them. And if you do want to get really crazy, if you're on the verge of losing and you really need a high damage combo just to close it out, 1 last hit, end the game, will end the set, this is the combo to do it with. You want to spend everything that you got, all of your meter, and Fatal Blow. This works mid-screen as well, it's not just corner exclusive. It's 65% combo. That is actually nuts. So yeah, while Natara is a bad character, and you know, playing Shang against her is just always the way to go, and you don't really have to morph. If you do, just to get those really high damage combos, there is no reason not to do it. There is literally no downside to doing this. The combo isn't that hard after you try it for a couple of minutes. But the thing that really puts her in the upper echelon of this tier list is that she also works really well with Sub-Zero. So if you are down on life against a Natara player and you want to get a little bit of that life back, you can do that with the Sub-Zero cameo. Another 3 bars a meter for 54%. I don't know exactly how much health you get back there, but you do get a fair amount of it back. And that's pretty much the only reason if you want to play Sub-Zero cameo, is if you want to have that extra health of having Sub-Zero cameo himself, and if you want to get that blood sacrifice health back. Otherwise, you still just do a ton of damage as her. So it's literally just a win-win situation for you. It doesn't matter if you pick Sub-Zero or Kung Lao cameo. Kung Lao cameo is probably better, but either way, you can still win just fine with either one of these two cameos. Alright, so Li Mei is pretty straightforward and straight simple. You just get damage, 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 and you get to play Li Mei as well. One of the, in my opinions, better characters in this game. I think the only reason that you're going to want to play this is because you just get 50% B&Bs, 2 bars a meter. I think that Shang already beats Li Mei as it is, so it's like another Natara situation. It's just a win-win situation for you. And if you do manage to get that touch and you do have the meter, there is no reason to not do this really easy to do 50% combo. And that's it. Look at that, almost 51%. And because Li Mei already does really high damage as it is, even just morphing into her is just really good on its own. Look at that, 41% for 1 bar. Really easy to set up. I think that the Kung Lao cameo actually synergizes a lot better with her than Sub-Zero. But the fact that you can just get like a 1-2 freeze and then just set this up so easily. Like, you can just do that anywhere on the screen at any time, any touch. You know, that's just so strong in my eyes. And that's all pretty much Li Mei is. You just get to do damage. Very easy just to morph into her and just get a simple touch. The B&Bs are so easy to do as well. Like, who doesn't like hitting for 50% off of 1 touch every single time? Like, that is absolutely nuts. Yeah, that's just Li Mei in a nutshell. Like, you just want to do damage? Just play as Li Mei. Okay, so in my eyes, I believe that Sindel is a bit of a sleeper pick. She has such good synergy with Kung Lao. I'm sure that everyone's seen the Sonic Fox stuff by now, that you can get really easy to set up, hard to blockables. I personally myself don't know how to play Sindel that well. So what you're gonna wanna do is, like, you're gonna wanna just do a regular combo like this, right? Knock them down like that and just morph into Sindel. Then your goal is to try and get that touch where you can start to set up the hard to block stuff. And then you just go from there, right? Like, I don't know how to play her very well. Like, that's just my idea, but that's just the general gist of it. I'm sure that a lot better Sindel players out there than me can actually do this. I just don't have the ability to do it just yet. Sindel is probably like one of my least played characters, even though I've been wanting to play her ever since her trailer. Like, she just looked amazing there. I just haven't really gotten around to it. I do believe that this is easily one of the best teams that you can morph into, and it's once you start to get those hard to block setups down, you were just doing it with more damage, so you just have to get a few less touches. But yeah, that's like basically my theory on it, is just getting the hard to block setups going. I was thinking that you could do it from this. But you knock them down too hard, and your cameo bar isn't that full either. I don't think that you can get a full-on, like, setup, like a true setup from this. Like, I don't, from down forward 4, I don't think you get a true setup from that, from low hat. It's plus 54 in hit, so, like, you're very plus. But I just don't think it's enough time to, yeah, set that up exactly. Obviously, it would be a lot better if you could combo into it, but I don't think the reality is that you can, unfortunately, with using spin. So I might have been a bit wrong putting Sindel at the top of the list, or sorry, as like one of the highest placing people in this list. But I truly believe that she's up there. But with that being said, we only have 2 more characters left, so let's just blow through those and then we'll get this video done. So Katana, I believe, has really good synergy with both Sub-Zero and Kung Lao. We'll start off with Sub-Zero because she sort of has a similar thing to Rain, where she has like an armor breaking setup that just leads into like a full damage combo. Really good set play, so I'll show you guys that now. So I'll set her to auto block and wake up. So when she wakes up, she'll block everything, even meaning that she'll block the fan bomb, because that is... What is that? Is that a low? I actually don't know. I don't think it's a low. Wind bomb. No, it's a mid. Okay, so she'll block the wind bomb no matter what. You throw them. And you just get to play them not as well as Rain, but it's definitely there. Like, what was that? Almost 70%. About 50% off of one touch. No bar spent as well, just one cameo. That's super, super strong in my eyes. So that's why I think that Katana's up here. But that's only half the reason. So she also has really good synergy with Kung Lao. We all saw what Foxy Grandpa did at UFA with her. So she has really easy combos to morph into. She does like really high damage. And then this way she becomes, in my opinion, the best zoner in the game. Just nice and simple like that. And then bam, you just start zoning and you just start zoning. Look at all this shit. Like, yes, they can block it, but man, it is super strong. Like, she is such a good zoner with Kung Lao cameo. It's like, it's absolutely nuts. So this is your way of like playing a damaging zoner. Yes, it's only like 37%, but you just get so much reward out of it afterwards. Like getting to play like with Kung Lao cameo, who is like probably her best cameo, and just like going absolutely on town on your opponent just with zoning. So yes, I know why a lot of people would be like, oh, I hate zoning, or blah blah blah. It's just something that you have to deal with in a fighting game, unfortunately. And I think this is the best way to access playing the best zoner in the game. With all that now, we only have one character left. I think you all know who it is. Let's just jump straight into it. So Kenshi, I believe that this is probably the most volatile matchup that you could ever have in any fighting game ever. It's basically whoever gets the first touch wins. That's the best way I can explain it. So the setup's pretty simple. I mean, you know, you just do any string into freeze, like so, and then you just pull out Tento. Easy 50%. Start doing this. This matchup really just speaks for itself. There's not a whole lot to say. Like, you just morph into Kenshi and you just play Kenshi but with better damage, which is nuts because he already does so much damage on his own. Look at that. Two touch. Two touch. Yeah, it doesn't matter how you get them in the sandwich. Any touch is going to be death. It's just, this matchup is extremely, like I said earlier, this matchup is just so volatile because it's basically whoever gets the first touch just wins. This is the most amount of damage you'll ever see from an overhead starter in Mortal Kombat 1 ever. %70 from an overhead. That is possible in a real match. That is very, like, that can happen in a real match. And this is from a low. Like, that is ridiculous. If you have Fatal Blow and you get them in that sandwich, it is literally guess for game. So that's going to be it for the video, guys. That is going to pretty much finish off my list of who Shang should morph into and who he shouldn't morph into. I would love to hear all of you guys' thoughts and opinions on this as well. I've been wanting to make this video for a very long time. I'm glad that I finally got off my ass to do it, even though I am technically sitting down. This is a lot of fun to make, so I hope you all really enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to the channel. We are so close to hitting that 2,000 mark. Thank you all again for watching. I appreciate every single one of you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.